Alrighty, and we got this week's lower decks to look at here. What was the name of the thing? Well, the title's on the front here. And like any good Star Trek show, we're starting to get development of the background characters here. We pretty much got Boimler down and Mariner and all. We know her story for the most part. I think we got a pretty good deal of Tendi earlier on, and Rutherford's any day now. So, but this time,
engineer.
The engineer this week is the they dressed him as Lieutenant Billups, got Lieutenant Commander preps on. That could be a reference to the old thing where people who turn as Lieutenant and they're clearly Lieutenant Commander. So, or it could be an honest mistake. Either way, Chief Engineer Billups. Turns out he's royalty. he's the son of the queen of this planet, where it's colonized by a bunch of Renaissance fence players. They got castles and they've got actual dragons flying around. It's a medieval fantasy world, which if you're into D&D and in the SCA, you'd probably love it there. I imagine the tourist traffic alone keeps the place in play. But she shows up on her ship needing help from an engineer. Her son is there, so and apparently it's happened before because able to trust she's on the first name basis with the captain and everything else. So. And the ship is very ornate. I mean, it is gold trim, and on board, it's medieval fantasy type. It's horses and everything, and they named all the circuits after various magical things, like elf transfer or something. But she's constantly trying to con him into relinquishing his place in Starfleet of this piddly little ship and come back and be a king. Because the second he gets laid, he assumes the throne apparently. And so Ensign Billups Engineer Billups is a very proud virgin. Okay, so his love is Starfleet. Like I said, the only one lady for him, and she's 2 decks tall and filled with with deuterium. But they got on there, and apparently a simple fault apparently. So that was too easy. So but the captain, Captain Freeman gets him, summons him back to the Cerritos. Figures you might need it out. She's up to. And while they're discussing that, there's an explosion on the other ship, and several casualties, including Ensign Rutherford is one of the reported casualties, and the Queen. So he thought, okay, now I have no choice. I have to resign from Starfleet and assume and mantle because besides getting laid, the other thing is if she dies, well, guess what? You're it. And so he's about to do the royal consummation of threesome with the 2 guards. They're all looking for it. Oh yeah. But, so again, this is not a cartoon for kids, okay? But Tendy's not ready to give up on just he locates it, Rutherford's implant on a whole other section. Okay, maybe still, and he busts in, sitting around the table on a big old feast. There's the Queen alive and well, and there's Rutherford. Hey, Tendy, you come here for the feast? What? Yes, the Queen faked it all. She faked her own death and did an explosion on her own ship just to get Connor's son into coming back home and becoming king like he's supposed to. And Rutherford comes rushing back to the Cerritos. They're attached on a docking umbilical, so you can just run from ship to ship. And has to stop Billups from doing the big do. And thankfully, Billups is having a little performance anxiety, so it's not quite up to task yet. So he gets there just in time, although he's already gotten naked. And ruins the 2 guards' fun because they're going to go to town on him. Meanwhile, a big chunk of the action where Jeffrey Combs comes in. He plays the evil computer that apparently caused all kinds of havoc on a planet. And Freeman and Boimler are transporting this thing back to the Daystrom Institute to be locked up with all the other evil computers they racked up over the years. And of course, this computer is very chatty and trying to talk them into hooking up the computer. I can fix the rope, because they had a gravitational shear, something kind of weird anomaly around a planet, which has claimed several ships apparently before, because they crash land, there's wrecks all around. They find a semi-intact ship, and after starting a little fight between Boimler and Freeman, gets Boimler to hook him up to this ship, and Or supposedly he's just going to send out a stress signal. And, yeah, all right, no. But he thinks he's, I will run this part of a million. I'll murder drones all the place. Now you want what? Boy, I'm going to plane him. He hooked him up to the dimmer switch, and that was it. You know? Meanwhile, using his battery to send out a stress signal of his own. So it's all, again, this is probably, the stakes are very much real in this thing. Boimler and Freeman are in trouble in this thing. It's not a fun planet. There's a big old lizard thing comes by and just tries to get them. But there's, this is it is a well-written show. The comedy is spot on. They're getting the other characters. They're starting to make there's a real characters and with real background stories. So yeah, for those who gave up on this show halfway through the first season, you're really missing it. Okay, go back, rewatch it. Put all preconceptions of this is no, it's not Kurtzman Trek. It is, despite his name on it. This is not Kurtzman Trek. He has nothing to do creative with the show. And they both sides, both McMahon and Kurtzman both said he doesn't send them notes of what to do. He lets them do what they want. They'll send questions like, "What is this?" Because I think McMahon confuses the hell out of it sometimes. Because again, the Kurtzman side of the show, they don't know anything about Star Trek. Nobody on there has any experience about Star Trek. Kristen Byer it, and she is caved. Okay, I'm not even interested in reading books anymore. But yeah, McMahon is they're all a bunch of hardcore Star Trek fans, and it shows. There's really only very few. Again, they're really scaling back the references. Okay, they've made their point. Okay, so you got a couple of them here. Like one to date his head, and the one buried was in a cave, and and the reference to 7 and 9. That's about it. But that it's really standing on its own legs here for the most part. And you really owe it to give the show a chance. And again, if you don't like the animation, you don't go for the kind of semi-subversive comedy this thing does, because it is a little then that's one thing. But don't label it as Kurtzman Trek. That's the biggest fight I got here, is trying to people from the top label it as Kurtzman Trek, because it ain't. It really isn't. And I think it's safe, but you could scrape off the secret hideout and all the raft of executive producers that come along sucking up parts of the budget. It'd be the same show. Like I said, the first couple episodes with the mile a minute references here and there, that was because the CBS wanted that. Okay, that's why the first few episodes are real heavy. But again, after the first with the first couple episodes, they do scale back, and now it's like there's only maybe a couple here and there. But yeah, they're going strength to strength. It's building up. We've only got 3 episodes left in this season, so it'll be real fun seeing how they wrap this up this year. And I think that the season 3 has already been approved, and they're probably working on that now. Personal note: we are in very, very deep trouble. So yeah, in fact, we've kind of overextended ourselves on thing because we tried just to get another night. And come Monday, if we don't get some money in here, it's going to bite us in the butt big time. So, yeah, links down below in the description. If you can't, and I say this all the time, I'm not going to pressure you, the viewer. If you can't give, share the links around someone who can, okay? Because I can tell you right now, we're probably going to need about $150 to at least get through the weekend. Because we got to cover what we've already spent, what we shouldn't have, and also pay for Sunday. And we got a number for. I know someone's going to come up with well, there's an emergency rental thing. We've already applied, okay? And again, everything's moving at the speed of bureaucracy. Now I got a phone number from the front desk, whom I might be able to get through to an actual human being instead of being forever on hold, and give that Monday. But that requires me be here Monday, okay? Because again, people, I've always been saying, no, look at this way. Our van is still in the shop waiting for another agency to say, yes, he's been recertified. Well, here's the credit card number to pay for the thing. We're still waiting on that. We're being held hostage by a few different things here. We got, and whereas before, though, have you got the van to live in at least? before we could, well, technically yes, we can't even say that now. We don't have the van. The van is way up in our van. It's about 40. It's about 5 miles away from us right now. Okay. Once upon a time, I could have walked that distance without a whole lot of problem, but I'm not lugging all our crap with us either. I can't do. I'd be lucky to make it up to the nearest McDonald's right now. It's only a few blocks away. I can't even cross the street to Circle K because I get run over. And not that I can do it because we have no freaking money. We've stretched out everything. And even the measly $1 donations that seem to be a function of the PayPal website have drawn up. So I don't know what the hell to do at this point except just, again, directly appeal. We need help. Okay? So, yeah, PayPal links down below. If you can't give, somebody else can. So share the links around. I could also use the traffic to the site. So come on. I mean, this audience has delivered before, and I've been very proud of you for that and very grateful to you for that.
Very.
So don't let me down here, guys, okay? Anyway, on that, we will talk at you later.